Hey everyone, hi, how are you? It's Cheryl here with my weekly episode of Tips and Tricks. I think this is going to be episode number 10. Wow. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you're brand new, welcome to my channel. As I said, this is a weekly series that I do on quick tips and tricks that I think could be helpful to new or experienced crafters. Just trying to share some things that I've learned along my crafting journey with you. And so today I want to talk about two-step stamping. And this was suggested by my friend Gail. We did a little craft therapy session this past weekend where we got together and we just did some cards. And there was a brand new stamper there who'd never stamped before. She had made paper cards, but she never made cards with stamping. And so two-step stamping was very new to her, but she was a rock star and she did great. So anyway, I thought I would dedicate this episode to just going through some two-step stamping tips and tricks, and maybe you'll learn something along the way. I hope you do anyway. So we don't have a prize this week because we didn't do a giveaway for last week, and I'm not going to do one this week. I'm formulating some ideas for some fun things to do for giveaways. But so pause one more time for this week. But next week we'll probably have something fun. So hang in there with me. Okay, I'm going to turn my. Oh no! First thing, what I want to do, because I want to take this opportunity to talk to you about some really great things that are going on in October. And the first thing, I'm going to switch over to my display, is the paper pumpkin. So the Ho 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 paper pumpkin kit came out. It was shipping on the 11th of October, so it's landing in people's mailboxes as we speak. And I received mine. I don't know, for some of you people out there that maybe are casual crafters or just don't have a lot of time to invest in, a whole ton of craft supplies. And these kits, these crafting kits are really awesome. And this is the Ho 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 kit from Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin's a monthly subscription. You don't have to commit to it every month if you don't want to. There's nobody that's going to hunt you down. You do just have to turn it off. So when you sign up for Paper Pumpkin, you sign up for a subscription, and you basically get a kit delivered to your door every month. And the kits cost $23.50, which includes shipping. And so you get your basically all-inclusive craft kit in a box. And so this is what we're going to be doing in our Zoom on Sunday with my Paper Pumpkin customers and my team. We're going to put together this particular kit, which is going to produce some cards that look like this. And then I always have some fun alternates that if you want to mix it up a little bit. So this is the Paper Pumpkin kit. You can't get this one anymore, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because the kit that you can get, so the next kit, which you have to order by the 10th of November, is going to be the Ho Ho Ho. No, not the Ho 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 kit. That's what this one is. This is the Ho 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 kit. The one that you can sign up for and get for November is called From the North Pole. And this one is not showing you the right one here. Let me see if I can get back to that. So, no, of course I can't. But what I can do is try to find the flyer image, which I think is right here. Yeah. Okay, so here is the kit that's being promoted right now. It's called From the North Pole, and it's a tag kit. So you're going to get everything you need to make 12 tags, a mini stamp set that you can keep using again and again, year after year, a little ink spot, things like that, glitter, paper, cutouts, twine. Everything you need is in the kit. Adhesives. The only thing that the kit doesn't come with is a scissors. So if you're a first-time person ordering, your first kit will come with an acrylic block that, if you guys can see me, looks similar to this. And that will be in your very first kit, and then you'll just reuse that acrylic block in subsequent kits. So the way it works is you sign up, you put in your credit card. It will charge you $23.50 every month unless you go in and say pause And when you say pause, it won't charge your card and it won't ship you a kit. As long as you remember to go in and say pause, you're good. If you forget, that's how subscriptions work. They get you. But anyway, I order several of these a month, and because I use them up, I use them for demoing purposes, but I also consume them myself because they're really awesome. It's an awesome product. So I encourage you to go out to Paper Pumpkin. I'll put the link below to sign up and subscribe. I think it's really well worth it. And crafting and stamping, this is what I do for my job, and I can't wait to get these kits in the mail every month. And I think that even if you're not a serious heavy-duty crafter, you would really enjoy these kits. And they're great for kids. Like if you've got little ones at home that are in that, teenager age where they're getting crafty and creative, perfect kits for, mom and daughter or mom and son to sit down and craft together. Okay, enough of that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the starter kit promotion for October. Normally, a starter kit runs $99 and you get $125 worth of product. This month only, they've added $30 to it. So instead of $125 of product, you're going to get $155 of product for $99. So that's free shipping. You do have to pay tax on the $99, but depending on what state you're in, it would vary. So I can't give you a specific amount. But how this works is you basically sign up, just go through the catalogs that are current right now, and you just start adding items to your cart until you hit $155. You can order whatever you want. You could order $155 worth of white paper if that's all you wanted to order. But it's really kind of a screaming deal. And you also get a free Paper Pumpkin kit, and you get free shipping. So in the end, you're at about $198, almost $200 worth of product for $99. So it's really a great deal. You'll get to receive 20% off all your future orders. So once you put your starter kit order in, anything you order after that for the next 3 months is 20% off. And I say 3 months because that's like the period of the commitment period. So if you just want to sign up to get the free product and then walk away and become a normal customer again, you'll get 20% off for 3 months, and then they carry you through to like the end of January. At the end of January, if you haven't spent $300, then they just drop you from the team basically, and you go back to being a regular customer. So there's no gotchas here. It's really it's a great deal, and a lot of people just do it for the discount shopping. So I've got a couple people on my team that are not interested in selling, not interested in building a business. They love the discount because they're avid crafters and they're getting 20% off every order. Plus you get Stampin' Rewards. Well, you get Stampin' Rewards if you're a regular customer too, but you get to see products before anybody else. You get early access to catalogs. You get early access to products that customers won't get at. Like right now, there's a kit called Fitting Florets or Festive Florets, something like that. I'll do a different video on that. But you can get that right now. If you wanted to get it, you could add it to your starter kit, and that could be part of your purchase in your join special. So I'd love to have you on my team, and we do some fun stuff and have some fun video time together, and you can be as participatory or not as much as you want. Nobody forces you to do anything. So if you want to just get a screaming deal for $155 and walk away, you can do that too. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you all this stuff. Okay, so moving on. I think that's all I want to talk about for now. Let's get started with the two-step stamping. Let's go back to the screen. Okay. So two-step stamping, what that is when you get, when you have a stamp set, we're going to use this one as my first example. So you look at this stamp set and you're thinking, okay, what is this? What are all these images for? How do they do? Maybe it's a little intimidating to you at first because you're like, I don't know what is that for? What am I supposed to do with those dots or that little branch? Well, two-step stamping combines two different stamps to make a more detailed image. So this looks like it's going to be the branch for the little holly berry, and you notice that these little spots when you put them together, they line up exactly with where the berries do. So you'd stamp the branch first and then you'd stamp the berry. Sometimes it's easier to stamp the berry and then the branch. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But that's essentially what two-step stamping is. So if you take a look at this pine cone, you've got essentially the same size of pine cone. This one's got wider, fatter stamping in the background, and this one is a little bit more detailed. So let me show you, because I think this is one that will really show up clearly when we do two-step stamping. So I'm going to grab two different colors. And sometimes you don't even need to grab two different colors. You can use the same color but stamp it off first so that you get a lighter impression and then a darker impression. But I'm going to start with the early espresso and soft suede just to show you how this works. I'm going to grab some scrap paper. I go through a lot of scrap paper, and I buy the 90-pound weight Nina Classic Crest. It's not... In my mind, it is scrap paper. It's not very smooth, but it's perfect for demoing and mocking things up. If you don't want to cut into your good basic white and you're just still trying things out, I have a stash of basic scrap paper that I like to use for things like that. So this is what I'm using here. And I'm also using photopolymer stamps. And two-step stamping is always photopolymer. You can't do a two-step stamp with the red rubber because you can't see through it. And the whole point about lining things up is being able to see through it. So I'm going to mount the two large pine cones. So these two guys, I'm going to mount those separately onto clear blocks. Okay. And what I started to say with two-step stamping or with photopolymer stamps is they're flatter than the red rubber. The red rubber stamps have cushion built into it already, whereas these do not. And so I grab my Stampin' Pierce mat every time I am doing photopolymer stamping, whether it's two-step or not. It's anytime I use a photopolymer, I'm going to grab my Pierce mat. And if I don't have my Pierce mat, you can just build up a cushion of paper underneath or use a piece of craft foam if you have it, things like that. Just something to give it a little bit more cushion so the paper receives the ink more fully, I guess. Okay, so the first thing that I do when I have a set like this is I just am going to stamp each of them out. Just so I'm going to pretend like I've never used this set before. So I'm going to just ink this up and I'm going to stamp it once, and then this is my stamped off version. See how that's lighter? That's how you can get away with only one shade. And then I'm going to use this one over here, and I'm going to do the opposite. So I want the darker ink to be on the lighter background. So this is hard to do on camera because well, maybe I can lower my desk a little bit so that I can get on top of it. You really want to get your eyes over the top of the image. And so what you're trying to do is, let me zoom in a little bit. What you're trying to do is to line this image up with the one you just stamped. And you can almost see through it. Depends. So if you're using lighter inks, do you see how I'm lining this up? I'm kind of moving it, and you can see where it's kind of lined up, where it's going to be filling in some of the gaps, right? So, and two-step stamping is never really perfect. So there's my dark on top of my light, and then I'm going to stamp off here. You can really see it through once you've gotten some ink off it. So there's a version. Now I like the darker. So this guy right here, I call it the detail stamp. So this is kind of like the background filler, and then this would be the detail of everything on top. So if I were to do this again, I would ink up the full filler stamp, so call it stamp 1, and then I would ink up the detail stamp, stamp 2, in the darker ink. And I didn't do a very good job mounting this stamp because I'm having to hold the block funny, but if I get over it, So if you're off a little bit, because of the nature of this stamp, it's very forgiving, very forgiving. So, and you can just practice with it until you get it quite right. Like I kind of like a little less white space, so I'm going to try to go in and get those white spots covered up. And I think if I move it down just a hair, there, do you guys see the difference? So you just have to, two-step stamping is, requires a little bit of practice, and definitely do some trial runs before you go straight to your project. But it's really not as hard as it looks. And like I said, this one's very forgiving. Let me show you how the berries work. So let's leave the brown out and grab the berry stamp. And then we're going to grab the branch that goes with it. Sorry for my arm in the way, guys. And we're going to put that on a block. So, because I know how this one works already, but this is another idea where you should play with it to find out which stamp you want to put down first. And for this one, I'm pretty sure, I think it's the berries have to go down first, because then they're easier to line up. So you put the berries down and just give them a stamp, like so. And then this is the branch to the berries, and that is going to line up just like that, right? So again, because it's clear, you can see through it. And I'm going to try to get over here and do the best I can. Like that. See how pretty that is? Super easy. And then you can die cut that. Now, if you did this branches first, some people do it either way. So you could put the branch down and then figure out where to put your berries. I don't have my in camera here. Let's try that. So you can't even tell a difference. So it's more a matter of preference, I think, when it comes to deciding which goes first. I'm going to take another stamp and show you. Definitely there's a first and a second stamp. I'm going to leave the red out and put this one away. And this is the a super cute stamp. This is called the Hello Ladybug. And when you're stamping the wings for the ladybug, so here's the wings and then here's the dots inside the wings. You want to line up it's easier, I should say, to line up the wings once you have the dots down. I'm pretty sure that's the order. I'm trying to remember now. So let's say the wings are red. We're going to ink that up in some red and put down our wings. Then we're going to go to black and give the wings some black spots. And once you've got the spots down, it's very easy to take your dots and hover them right over. See, can you see how I'm not lined up there, but I'm more lined up there? So you're just going to hover them right over the dots and put them down. So if I did it backwards, the other way, you could do dots first and then do your red wings. And you've also got a really easy guide to line up. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera or not, but I'm lining my wings up right over the dots. And so here's another one where you can't even tell the difference between which one you did first or second. So that's pretty precise lining up. The other one in here that's pretty precise to line up is this guy, because you're trying to get him into a border or an outline, a shape outline. So let me show you. So we're going to do this little ladybug guy. And this is the stamp that you use to fill in the red part of his body. So we're going to stamp his body out in black first. like so. And then grab the body part, the filler, and again, you're going to hover over, I'm going to try to get up on my tippy toes here. You're going to hover over and this is, again, I would suggest practicing. So, not too bad. Do you see how I left a little bit of white spot right there? Not perfectly lined up. That's why I said this one takes a little bit of practice. So, if we did it the other way and did the body first, then took, or sorry, we did the shell, I guess it's a shell, what is it? Him first, and then lined up the dots with, I'm holding my breath, there we go. So, also not bad, but if you have alcohol, if you have the blends, what color did I use here? Cherry cobbler. So I would come in with my cherry cobbler, and I would start with the light. I would move to dark if I had to. And then I would just touch that up. And I could probably go to the dark. And because you're going over black, you don't have to worry about being super duper precise. And you could do that up here. So this is just a little tip on how to fix it. But there. No one would ever know that you stamped it a little bit off. You could also fill in his face with more black marker if it didn't get as dark and crisp as you'd like it. So that's how you do pretty precise two-step stamping. Practice with which one you want to lay down first, which one you find easier, and then just go with it. Okay, the next one I want to show you is very loose, imprecise two-step stamping. Anybody can do this. You do not have to be a pro at it at all. Let me just clean these up real fast so I can put them away and get them out of the way. Okay, now that I got my mess out of the way, this is the stamp set that I'm going to show you two-step stamping also. So you take this, focal right here, or this one, either one, and you fill in the flowers with color using these separate stamps. Now the fun thing about this is these are meant to look loosey-goosey, watercolor-ish. So, for example, here's a card that I made. And you can see the color is not anywhere near, the outline. I mean, it is a little bit. It's similar in shape. But that big white gap right there, that's not a misstamp. That's intentional. And then see this stamping here, the darker color is outside the lines a little bit. Also very intentional. So it's meant to be a very loose watercolorish look. And some people take a look at this stamp set and get super intimidated and go, oh my god, I can't do that. That's way too precise for me. But let me show you how easy this is. Okay, so we're going to use this one. And by the way, this is heavily stained black because I lent it out and they used STAMPIN ink. They didn't know, the person did not know that STAMPIN, I mean, it didn't hurt the stamp. There's nothing wrong with the stamp. It's just dyed black because they use STAMPIN ink instead of regular water-soluble ink. Normally, black would not do that to your stamps, so don't worry about that. This is the one that fills it in, and then we're going to need this flower here, which I think is this one. And then we're going to need the leaf. Okay. I think that's it. So let's put this on a block and get some ink on it. Grab another sheet of my scrap. On larger stamps, I like to take the pad to the stamp just to make sure I get coverage everywhere. And give this a good press. Then we are going to, that's not big enough. We're going to fill it in, this flower piece right there, with this stamp. And let's go with pink. This is polished pink. I never use this color. So set those aside for a second. So we're just going to ink this up. Again, look through your block, and then what I'm going to line up is, that's a stem piece right there, and I think the stem's going to go right there. So I'm going to try to line that up best I can. Like that. Do you see how out of the lines that is? Now, some people that might really bother some people. It does not bother me. I love watercolor, so I think that's kind of a cool look. I'm going to do another one just to see if I can get it lined up a little bit differently. So I'm looking at the outer edges of the inked up stamp, and I'm looking through it to see when I come down where it's going to land. Yeah, it's about the same. So now if you want to add another color to the flower, let's do another one, and let's do yellow. This is Mango Melody. And then I'm just looking for kind of a basic direction, a basic shape. And you can play with it a little bit and see which way you like best. I think this is the way I like it. Just like that. My ink pad is dry. I don't use this color that often. This one. Like so. Got ink on me. Do you see how pretty that is? I just love it. Okay, so now we're going to use the green and put some leaves on this. I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to ink it up. And I don't even need to hover over the top of this one, because I can kind of see. But see how easy this is when you're not having to stay inside the lines. And then I would use the small leaf. There's a small one in here, this guy, that you could use to add some green to the stem right here. Even though it's not a leaf, you just throw some color on it like that. This particular stamp set is also very pretty hand colored. I've done that too. So that is very loose two-step stamping. That is super easy and very forgiving. Very forgiving. Okay, one more, and it's only because I haven't played with this stamp set yet, so it's going to be new to me. I just got it. It's called Brewed For You. Let me get this out of the way. And this. And so brand new stamp set I just got. Oh, I haven't even prepped it yet. So those of you who know me know I keep my dies in the case, and I use these magnetic sheets that I get. They're called Marietta Magnetics, and they're 5x7, and they're just a smidge too long for the case, and so I just take like 1/8 of an inch off, cut that off, and peel the backing off because it's got adhesive backing to it. Peel that off. Set that in there just like that. And then I'm going to place these dies. And get them off the sticky paper, which is very sticky. I got this set because I wanted to have more options for guy birthday cards, and I thought this would be perfect. So in this case, the dies are handy because if you didn't want to do the two-step stamping, you could do the stamping separately, and then there's a die to cut out the inside and a die to cut out the glass. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to put that there. Okay. So let us see here. I want to do the beer mug first, which is this guy. And then he gets filled in with that one. Looks like. I'm going to grab some more paper and put him on a block. And then put him on a block. And because I have not played with this stamp set before, I'm not sure what colors to even use yet. So you could go with like a golden yellowy color. If you have Stampin' Up! Colors, you probably maybe Bumblebee would be a good color for the actual beer. And then the glass. Like I said, I haven't done anything yet with this, so I'm gonna try like a Sahara sand color to see what would work. So let's just play and see. That's not bad. And then this guy goes down. See how dark that is. That's pretty dark. You could stamp it off. So let's do that. Let's stamp it off. And then these three lines, little three sections, looks like they're going to line up. So there is a top and a bottom to this. You've got the bottom curve and then the flat top. So you want to, I just inked it up. So you want to make sure you have it in the right direction. And I'm going to line up the bottom. Is this the right stamp for it? Yeah. Well, if I've got to redo it, I got to redo it. First try. Not bad. I wonder if there's a filler, if there's a stamp. There isn't. I feel like that needs color. Maybe if we did, instead of like a brownie gray, we did like a pool party to kind of imitate the look of glass, maybe? I might be reaching here. Let's see. Clean that off. Let's do a pool party one. And then, actually, that straight on would make a good ale color, like a darker ale. And we want to line the bottom of this up with this line right there, I think. What do you guys think? I mean, I definitely didn't ink it up very well because it was all juicy. Let's try putting this down first and then adding the mug. I definitely don't like the blue. Let's put that away. Let's try, well, let's just try black. Let's see if it's easier to line up. Yeah, it kind of is. Nope, kind of isn't. Let's do that again. Let's do the yellow first. Okay, so I wasn't lined up left or right on that one, so I'm going to line up on the bottom and then left to right. But I think it's definitely, see, now I ran over on this side. So I think it's definitely easier to stamp the mug first. And then let's put our beer in. Yeah, it's still a little bit over there. But my gosh, no one's going to know. I mean, this one is pretty tricky. I don't want to scare you guys away from it, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Not bad. So, I'm not going to play with this anymore right now, but this is another very precise one. You know, this stamp set is pretty precise for the when it comes to the two-step. So you've got, you know, loosey-goosey, very precise. This one, very forgiving. This one, very precise. So anyway, I hope that was helpful to you at all. What I would suggest is to really just play with it for a few minutes before you take it to your project, and just practice. And don't be afraid to try different colors. I sometimes would leave something like a practice sheet like this right in the case, and I would write down, if I happen to really enjoy this color combo, I would put, you know, Mango Melody and black, so that I knew I could just easily go grab the right color that I wanted. I do like color cheat sheets all the time doing this kind of thing. So, okay. If you're still with me, thanks for hanging out. Next week, I don't know what's on tap yet. On tap. I really didn't mean to say that. I don't know what's on tap yet for next week, but if you have any ideas or suggestions or would like me to focus on something specific, please drop me a line and let me know, or you can leave it in the comment below. All the products that I used today are available in my online store. If you're interested in any of these stamp sets, you can get them in my store. I would love to, I'd love to have you on my team. So if you are interested in the starter kit promotion that's going on right now, if you're not interested in being on a team but you still want the promotion, by all means you can do that too. I won't be hurt at all over that. And don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, take care. I'll see you next week. Bye.